Hello, Kitaholic Kit peeps. How are we all? It's Ames here, back with my first video for August using the beautiful mane and embellishment kits. I've got a lovely family photo I'm scrapping here in a 12 by 12 layout, and I'm using one of the fab cut files that the lovely Virginia created this month. I'm using the second word one, which says Weekend Vibes. Decisions on what paper to use, so I saved you the drama of me deciding which one I was going to use. So I've picked this one as my pattern paper, and I couldn't decide, and actually left this layout for about 24 hours or so on my desk and kept coming back to it as to whether or not I was going to back the cut file, back the photo, add strips of paper to the the background pattern paper, what I was going to do. I didn't know if it was too I even had some Dilutions paint out to paint the cut file, but then changed my mind. As you will see, I left it in the stark white because I thought it's a bit more, in the face that way. Well, not in your face, but, stands out more, the words do. All right, so I decided to add a little small border around and back my photo a bit. I am using I guess it would be the B side of one of the other papers I used in my first project for this month. So it's that, as you can see, that sort of woody, grainy kind of colour. It makes for that sort of perfect border, being that the photo has a lot of white. There's not a whole heap of colour in this photo. We're all dressed up to go to my christening, actually, and her first birthday party. So it was just a quick snapshot in the car before we walked into the church. And as you can see, it's very white, very tame sort of colours in the photo, which made it a bit tricky as to what to use colour-wise, because I scrap by colour generally. And the kits, if you've got them, is so bold and bright and beautiful that I was like, crap, what am I going to do? Anyway, made it work. So I'm playing around with my ephemera pieces and whatnot as to what I was going to use. Couldn't decide between the doilies there, the Heidi Swap doilies, the pretty frilly ones, or this sort of the plain sort of flat one. Instead, I go with an ephemera piece behind here. As you can see, I sort of kept this in for you guys to have a bit of a quick, but sped it up, so you get a bit of a quick peek as to what is in the crepe paper, what is it, Wild at Heart ephemera pack. I don't pieces, so don't stress, but you can sort of get a quick glimpse of what's there. And I do choose this frame, which, hindsight's a wonderful thing. I probably should have snuck it and cut it in half so I had another extra piece for later on, but anyway, I was too busy being indecisive as to where everything was going to go and what was going to go where, that I just forgot to be a bit crafty that way. So I decide on the frame and the doily in that top corner, because it doesn't have a layered piece of paper behind it. And then, bang, this is where I'm at. So I've picked some ephemera pieces. As I said, I did edit out a big chunk here because I literally sort of pulled everything nearly out of my little blue tray here to decide what I was going to use. Anyway, I changed it around, you'll see shortly, but this is what I've got so far. Some really big pieces. My first post, the crepe paper die cut pack, it has really big die cuts. At first that was a bit overwhelming, and I was sort of like, oh god, how am I going to use all of these? But I'm finding them really easy to use, so don't fear at the big embellishment pieces. You can make them work. They make really good layering pieces, I'm finding. You can pop them in behind things and whatnot, so never fear. And I'm thinking the next project I do will probably be, or one of them will be, a project life spread. I always like to chuck one of those in there for you. And I'm thinking they're going to make some really great filler cards, or you could make DIY embellishments with them and things like that. So they're really handy to use. I'm thinking they're giving me a bit of mojo. Anyway, play around with the exclusive printables here as well, what's going to go where and how it's all going to work. Fussing around with the title there as well as to what was going to work, where it was going to work. I did actually, which I cut out as well, I was going to put them down the side, the cut file there. Changed my mind again, didn't look right, going with this. Just marking it out. just adding some foam tape here. If you've watched my actual videos, you know I'm finding it very hard to find the actual sheets of craft foam at the moment. To be a little bit elusive at my craft or my local cheapy shop and around the traps. So I am going with the craft foam tape, double-sided tape, which is fine. It does the trick. So, you know, whatever. I just find that I use a lot more of it, I think. And so I'm going to have to buy more. So just being a bit of a budget conscious, I guess. Anyway, still gives that dimension, that pop up off the page as I like to do. Also makes layering things a bit easier. I wasn't going to necessarily pop it up, the photo up, but I find that I was going to add some layers. So I thought, like with the embellishments, I thought, yeah, I think that's going to be easier. Now, what I've done there is I wanted to use these paper flowers, and I was going to just pop them around the page by piercing a hole in it and then tying it through the back. Changed my mind. Instead of adding some twine through the tag top bit there, whatever the technical term for that is, very crafty me, I have just sort of wound the bit that comes at the back, like the little wire piece of the flower, in and around the back and just stuck it down. So nice and easy, nothing too challenging. I did use my stapler on that one just to staple it in, just to see if that would work. I didn't on the one that I do on this left-hand side, and that's fine. Right-hand side, opposite aims. Whoops, sorry guys. But I really like how the flower, it's different, and that's what I really liked. Whilst we're not in some sort of paradise cove in this photo, still the weekend, we're going to a party, we're all dressed up. Why not? You know, the flowers just add that element of pretty, and that's what it is. So, you know, whatever. Wanted to use them, make it work. So yeah, work it, baby, work. So I'm doing the same here with this piece, this die cut. And it wasn't too hard to stick down, I found. I haven't had to add glue or anything. And at the end of the day, once it goes in a page protector, it will squish down into the page a bit more. So it will hold in place anyway, like the flower at the back. Now I'm just going through the exclusives little pocket of my tray there, looking for some bits and bobs to pop on there. I think, from what I can see, I think I'm going to add, this little heart here is from the exclusive printables. I'm actually adding that as my little marker for what day it was, so the Sunday. And I've added that little note piece next to that one that has all the days on it. And I'm using that for journaling, which you'll see shortly. Now, these were a bit of a challenge. So if you're watching this and you have used these string beads, I would really, really love to see how you've used them. So because it's me and I like to use my kits, you know, elements of my kits in all my, you know, straight off the bat, I thought, oh, you know what, these would make a really cool border. They're a bit sparkly as such, they're a bit different, they'll add a bit of a different texture, you know, a bit of interest. I thought I'll use my glossy accents to make them stick. Epic freaking fail. Oh my God. So managed to chuck out or cut out all of my fussing around. I think I had to actually pause the video. So trying to put the glossy accents at the end to make the either end stick did not work, and I got impatient. So what I've done is added double-sided tape and just stuck it with that and hope that it will work. So if you have some tips on how to stick this bit down, please let me know. Maybe my bad in that I didn't wait for the glossy accents to fully dry, and that's, you know, that could be just my bad. But yes, and I added another piece with a double sort of layer of it at the bottom of the string beads. You can see underneath the vibes, and I like how it looks. It's different, it adds some texture, as I said, and it's a different sort of interest point. It's not a doodly border, they're not sequins, they're not anything like that, it's not washi. It was just a little tricky to get them to stick down, but you know, whatever, it works, done. So now I'm just adding some more of the printables there. I've added that ready for the weekend underneath there with a piece of double-sided tape and I wanted to use, we got some of those wooden wood veneer like tags in our kit from Craft as well. So I'm using it with one of the phrase pieces. It says let's go. So just sticking both of those down with just some wet glue. Nice and easy, all stuck down. What am I looking for? Looking for something else. What am I dilly-dallying around with? Oh, it might be another word. Yeah. All right. Now I'm just adding these rhinestones from the kit as well. They're by Craft, just to add a bit of bling to the page. Little pops there, if I can get it to stick. And then this little heart from the exclusives as well. Basically, I just saw it, thought it was really cute, and went, oh, I like that. I'm going to add that to the page. So I added to the top there, which also covered up a little bit of a boo-boo with the glossy accents. It made a bit of a mark at the top, so I kind of wanted to cover it a little bit on that spot, which that was the perfect size. So yay. Now we did get a stamp set, which is really awesome. So I wanted to use it because, as I said, that's how I roll. I get a new kit and I want to break it open. So I'm using the XOXO here. Just stamping off the excess ink. Probably should have done that in my journal. That would have been a good idea, wouldn't it? Salame. And what else am I going to use on this? Oh, this like wreath, is it? Like, well, not a wreath, but like flowery, leafy border. I add that to underneath each of the oh no, not under each, sorry. Under the weekend there and under the photo. I just thought that just added a nice little fill-in for that. And ties in that flowery sort of feel with the two paper flowers. Even that tag that says all the heart eyes has that the palm leaf type things on it. And then the hearts, because I loved the look of the hearts, and so I just had to stamp them. I did a new thing I haven't done before, and I just did some little doodly dots and stars and hearts just because and I love them. I thought it looked really cool. I don't know why, I just filled in the blanks. I just was feeling the mood, and I've seen the lovely Inky Quill do them lately, and I was like, I love these, so I did it and it worked. And that's my layout done, and it looks really cool in the vibes. In the B one, I thought that I've filled in that space a little bit. So here's my close-ups. I hope you're enjoying your August kits. Hope you enjoyed my layout. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe, and if you got any questions, let me know. See you next time, guys. Bye.